I övertygelse om att de nya Luleälvsstationerna ska bli till gagn och båtnad och göra avgörande insatser i landets kraftförsörjning vill jag lyckönska Vattenfallsstyrelsen.
Utbyggnaden av vattenkraften i Sverige den la ju grunden för hela vår industrialisering.
"12,000 years ago, the last ice age melted in Scandinavia, which shaped valleys and eroded mountains. Its traces can be found in the glaciers of the high mountains in the west. Two rivers, Lilla and Stora Lule älv, meet in Lule Rim and become one before they enter the Baltic Sea. Land formations defines its path as it in turn shapes the land in its way. Through layers and sections, the history is read and revealed. A topographical vessel, a malleable ground." The forces exerted on the Lule River Valley have changed over time. The river has a central role in the landscape and figures as a travel path, creating connections and barriers. Having a long history as a cultural landscape, the region is part of Sápmi. With the seasonal cycles, reindeer herds move across the land. In the early 20th century, the north of Sweden was known as the national frontier. Vattenfall sent out an expedition to map the upstream lakes and springs of the Lule River. A collision between the Cartesian plane and the reality of the topographical form was unavoidable. The river became fragmented and stagnant. Porjus was originally built to power Malmbanan, the railway transporting iron ore from the inland mines. Over time, a full-fledged energy landscape had been constructed. Rania Sjokksjokk writes about the energy infrastructure in spatial terms. Space has played a role in the myth of ecologically benign economic growth because the creation of value in energy regimes has long internalized benefits and accrued them to the urban center, while externalizing costs, sliding them to the periphery, out of sight. This is a composite landscape, with many superimposed layers, all wishing to leave their imprint on the surface. Below the surface, an unstable ground is revealed, the ground on which dreams of clean energy is constructed. Fragmented shards of old memories lie discarded on the seabed, dead rocks and hidden stories. In the reservoir, a new type of species was first sighted 5 years ago. It is unknown if the fish had become electric due to an experiment gone awry or if it was simply due to the evolutionary pressures of surviving in the energy landscape. Regardless, the new and improved fish were living in a symbiotic relationship with the humans. Their electricity was discharged in turn for nutrients at the fish charging stations. Ever since the blackouts became more frequent, uncertainty spread in the cities. Porjus became a safe haven due to its unlimited supply of flowing water and energy. In a post-fossil world where access to dependable energy became the new currency, Porjus saw an enthusiastic boom where housing and industry made up the megadam structure. And it all starts here, at the mouth of the intake tunnel.
Welcome to Porjus Energy Village. Our megadam structure is A++ in energy rating with a dependable energy source for your family and company. Many cutting-edge tech firms have trusted us with their business, and you should too. We are world-leading in building sustainable post-fossil communities. Join us for a balanced lifestyle with state-of-the-art amenities and beautiful national parks around the corner.
The body of water which made up the reservoir grew over the years. It began to swell as the hungry energy landscape was constructed. In a final push to reach carbon zero, the dam was yet again raised, increasing the water amplitude by 7 meters and the electricity output by a whole 40%. During the first phase of the Energy Village project, a demolition zone was marked out on maps in distant boardrooms, dictating what grounds would be flooded and which of the existing houses would be evacuated. Once the groundwork had been done, the shorelines were yet again redrawn as people from far and wide settled in the new megadam structure to start their new lives. Great panoramic openings offer magnificent views over the reservoir. Splendid white boxes were hoisted up in the air, performing an elaborate balancing act. These are the spaces of our desire, embedded in a white and safe aesthetic, like something stuck in the late 2010s. The apartments were a sure success among the new inhabitants. I guess it reminded them of simpler times before the energy rations had been introduced. Their lifestyles were a seductive image projected onto a flickering green screen that destabilized the divide between dream and lived reality. As we take a step back, the fourth wall of such an architecture is broken. On the fringes and in the seams, networks of pipes and services connects us to the invisible sources of consumable goods. Often unseen and unnoticed, they are the scaffolding of our daily routines.
Vi har varit med om flera incidenter där finmaterial har vaskats ut och det har uppstått vad man kallar för sjunkgropar uppe på dammkrönet. Och det visar ju tydligt då att material har tvättats ur och försvunnit iväg med läckvatten.
A topographic vessel containing the ebbs and flows of time. A ground that is continuously constructed and excavated. The activity of the Anthropocene is short-lived in a matter of geologic timescale. Our existence rests upon the agency of this earth.